So, Danny, what did you think of the movie?
It was very violent. It was a total attack against kids, the whole movie. Everything that kids love was being used against them.
Like what?
Clowns. Even the penguin had a ducky boat.
So
and
things that kids could identify
presents
with.
and mobiles. All that type of stuff were using to hurt kids and capture kids. Penguin's total goal was to hurt kids.
You think it was scary then?
Definitely for kids.
Yeah, for you?
I was actually a little bit scared, and I have never been scared of a movie like this before.
Yeah.
I came out of Terminator 2, fine. It's just not for younger kids. The penguin always had goop coming out of his mouth. Catwoman took her claws and played tic-tac-toe on a man's face.
And how many times have you seen it?
I saw it twice to get a real good view of it.
Welcome all to Flyby Films, a once or twice a month podcast using the distance of... Whoa, fuck, I already messed it up. I can't remember this. You're the one who's drinking, too.
The defying of distance tubes.
Yeah. I think I was trying to incorporate our movie, which has aliens and space travel, and I couldn't do that.
Couldn't quite pull it off.
Couldn't pull it off because
fair.
I gave it 5 seconds. So let me start over. This is terrible. Blake, what's our sound engineer's name?
Justin.
Justin, ignore the last 5 seconds. But you don't have to cut this out. This is fine. This is who we are. All right.
Take it or leave it.
Yeah. So starting again, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Flyby Films, a once or twice a month field recording that using the magic of distance-defying tubes or some shit like that. My buddy in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and myself in Chico, California, get together and discuss movies that either have been or will be forgotten. The hook of that is that includes everything if you go out to the heat death of the universe. And so we don't actually have rules on this podcast. However, today, my good pal brought us a real forgotten movie.
Oh, man.
A movie from the 80s that you might recall is called Hangar 18. And by you might recall, I'm talking about nobody. Nobody is going to recall this movie except for Blake and I because we watched it.
What is
Blake,
it?
What is it?
Yeah.
Hangar 18.
What is the movie? Oh.
Yeah. I mentioned, I said it, you just didn't hear me.
Oh. Well, that's typical for our podcast, is we're just not listening to each other and we just randomly talk. Yeah.
What brought this movie to your attention?
I was in the mood for aliens. And I was like, well, there's got to be some movies about aliens I haven't seen in a while. So I looked up a list of films about, aliens and alien conspiracies and disclosure and whatnot. And I was like, and I don't recall where I had heard about this film in the past. I know I had run across it at some point, but had completely forgotten about it until I saw it on this list. I was like, oh, we should do that one because I haven't seen it. And no one remembers it except for this one list. So,
Blake,
yeah.
You said you'd heard about it before. Were you ever a Mystery Science Theater boy?
Oh, very much so. I don't think I saw this one on there, though.
Yeah, I do think that this had some to do with that. When I was reading about it, they mentioned Mystery Science Theater 3000, so...
Yeah.
So
I grew up loving that show.
yeah, I guess not completely forgotten. Not
No.
necessarily remembered in the best light, or we'll discuss that.
I mean, it's got Robert Vaughn in it, so it can't be that bad.
Blake, I have no idea who that is, and if
He was a
that's
politician.
oh, okay.
He's known for his I believe if I'm not mistaken, in
So we're talking about a real Ronald Reagan here.
yeah, a real Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, he is the cowboy with the black gloves in the first remake of Seven Samurai,
Oh,
also known as Magnificent Seven.
interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So he's got some pedigree. He's a known quantity, but he has very little to do in this movie.
We'll get into this, but this movie, what surprised me about this movie was, I'd heard, bad movie, forgettable movie from the 80s about aliens. And I think I was expecting something much worse, much shabbier. And I guess we'll get into why I still think it kind of qualifies for that bad movie category.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was competently made. Like if you dial into scenes and you look at microcosms of this film, you're like, oh, the person who put this thing together, this little thing together, knew what they were doing. And so even the acting isn't real bad in this movie, but you put it all together and you get something interesting. And so
Well, and I think if you break it down to its key parts, the narrative is largely coherent. Like it's not.
maybe
No,
I could
I
be
would say
convinced of that.
I would say it's about as coherent as the general Roswell incident, which
Okay.
it's easily based on. Um,
Maybe we're giving it a little too much credit by saying like they use this source material. Okay, like I'll let you have 5 seconds where I won't respond, but I do want to
okay,
call out.
Kanye, I'm gonna
I
let you
do.
finish, but
I do want to call out that we can't. This is our return to form episode. It's
yeah,
just me and you. We don't
yeah,
have a guest. And last time, Matt Ruff broke us. He
he did.
literally came in and he changed our format. That motherfucker. No, I'm just kidding. No, he did, and I don't want to go back. I feel like we're betraying ourselves if we talk too much about the movie right now.
That's
So
fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna stop talking. Let you give 5 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, I gave it all already.
You gave me your all. Thank you.
I gave it my all. Jamison, what did you cook for dinner tonight? This is what's on the minds of all of our listeners at this specific moment. It doesn't matter if they're listening to it in the morning, midnight, 2 a.m., 5:30 p.m. It doesn't matter. What did you cook tonight?
If Thad made it this far in this episode, I assure you that what he was thinking right before you said that was, damn, I wish I knew what Jamison made for dinner.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Thad has made it already through this whole episode.
Before we're done.
I think he and Demetrius are the only ones who actually listen all the way through.
I don't think that's true. We've got almost dozens of listeners.
We have 23 on Spotify. We've been holding strong at 23 for the last 2 months.
I think we added someone in the last month. I think it went up by 1. So I think it was 22, really? And then it went up by 1.
I think ever since we started getting our guests on, with some big names like Brad Kelly and Brian Rose and Matt Ruff, I think we were bumping our stats up.
The only other person you didn't mentioned was Seth Wick.
Yeah, he's
so
used to that.
you were like big names, and then you left one person out.
Well, you know what's the beautiful thing about it? He'll never know because he doesn't listen to this.
You're gonna get a nasty text in like 5 years that's like, "What the hell, man?" Anyway, what did I make for dinner? I
It was
made
janky, whatever it was, according to you.
no, it was just really filling. So, Blake, what is the best dinner that you can imagine?
My grandmother's chicken
Gen-
enchiladas.
genre of dinner. Oh, okay.
Mexican,
Mexican? Okay.
always.
What about the second best? I want to know how
Hamburgers,
oh,
like American,
okay, so American, third best.
but really only hamburgers.
Give me your third,
Maybe
and then
chicken fried steak. Maybe.
I'll skip down.
After that, it's probably Thai, Vietnamese, Chinese food combined.
Okay. Where would you put breakfast for dinner?
Oh shit! I would put that third. Knock down the Vietnamese and Thai food.
See, I was thinking it would be up there because breakfast for dinner is awesome. It's great.
I love it more for dinner than I do for breakfast.
And I love breakfast for breakfast. I really do.
In theory, like breakfast, but I hardly ever eat it.
Yeah. I've been trying to eat it more, but I've been trying to eat like make myself a good breakfast and then eat like half of it and then save the other half for later. This is definitely I'm like a privilege of working from home where I could do something real quick, save it, go back to it. It's in my refrigerator. But so I've been doing that lately, which actually causes me to eat more breakfasts than I normally do.
What does a vegetarian breakfast look like? Because I'm deeply confused by the lack of bacon.
Protein. Well, there's no bacon.
Specifically bacon, but yes, sausage too.
I didn't even try to make a meat, actually. Instead, what I did...
that would defeat the point, wouldn't it, of being vegetarian? To make a meat?
Yeah.
One doesn't really make meat. We process meat.
Sure. Okay. I'm being flippant here, and I'm talking about certain ways that you can fake meat, and you can make it.
Like the Impossible Burger?
Well, so I don't mind that stuff, and actually there are certain times where I'm like, oh, let me just fry that up, because like if a recipe calls for ground beef, and that's a really important part, that can actually be a good substitute, especially if it's like a casserole type thing where you're not going to be like, oh, this Kobayashi beef is really good in this mac and cheese casserole. I don't know why you would make mac and cheese. Hamburger Helper or whatever.
Oh man,
you don't really care.
I nearly had a heart attack, Jamison, because I did not hear mac and cheese. I heard MAGA cheese.
Oh,
and I was like, I was deeply confused once again. Why is there a cheese that's made specifically for MAGA?
I mean, probably. I wouldn't search for it, but you can find a lot of things.
I mean, I would get it for Justin.
It's American
to try
cheese.
Out. I mean, American cheese is shit.
America first cheese.
Fight me.
Sorry.
I hate American cheese. Ugh.
You know what? American cheese, and we're getting further and further away from my dinner, but American cheese is good on a burger that you do not care about. And
then I won't eat the burger. If I don't care about it, why would I eat it?
Do you ever eat a burger just for the fixings on the burger?
I mean, I guess maybe.
Do you really like? I guess if I go
if I go to a fancy burger place, I always look for like the weirdest ass burger they make, and that's one I'll get. Barring that, I always get the Hangover burger. Which is, guess what? Breakfast on a burger.
if you come here,
Oh, I
I will
like how you
take
just
you.
passed over that.
I
You
will
son
take
of a
you
bitch.
to Madison Bear Garden,
Oh,
which is a local institution. I'll take you on a night where there's not a lot of college students, which is actually hard to do. But they've got a whole list of burgers, and you can get a T-shirt if you try them all. There's like 50 of them, so unless you want to move to Chico for a month, and even then,
I
that
don't
would be
think I
really,
think it'd have to be 2 months,
yeah, it'd be hard
and
to
I'd
do
have
in
to
a
go
month.
every night.
But they have the Elvis burger, which is peanut butter, bacon, and
Oh yes,
yeah. So
yes, I love it. Love it.
I used to love that one. That was my favorite, like weird ass burger.
Peanut butter on a burger should not work, and it
But
does
it
every time.
does. It really does. Yeah. No. Um, but like if you get a burger from McDonald's, I don't care about the patty at all. That's what I'm talking about. The burger, the meat doesn't matter, right?
Well, it's
So
basically
much.
vegetarian because I don't believe there's actual beef in it.
Sure. Well, horse meat or whatever
I
they
don't
put
know.
into those.
Horses are basically plants.
Um, do you remember a couple years back before I had my dinner this evening, a few years ago, I was reading War and Peace with Greg. Do you remember
I
this?
no, I don't remember this because this was long before I entered into the book club. But
Look,
I knew you read it.
okay. We were
I just
still texting at that point.
Oh yeah,
I'm
we were
surprised I
texting the whole
never.
time there, but you didn't like keep me abreast of like what books you were reading. We were mostly
Well,
talking about music most of the
we
time.
yeah, we read War and Peace, and it was really funny because my father-in-law was in the book club,
Hmm.
and it was also around the summer of the song WAP or WAP,
Oh yeah.
and War and Peace has a nice acronym, and so we shortened it to that, and then he just kept like posting like WAP, yeah, this thing, and we just kept
Uh-huh.
talking about it, and we had to when we met, we had to come clean and tell him like, this is a really famous song called, and then we told him, and
Well, you're afraid of saying it on our podcast?
wet ass pussy. I am not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
Do you
but
remember who it was by?
it was. I get this mixed up. It's Megan the Stallion,
Yep. I think
and
so. It's either that or Cardi B. I can't ever remember.
I think no, it's both of them. That's the
Oh,
other
okay.
person.
Gotcha.
Is I always think that Nicki Minaj is somehow involved, but she's not in it.
Yeah.
Speaking of MAGA cheese, she's MAGA now, which is surprising. She's also
Who?
like Cardi
Who's
B.
MAGA?
Oh, not Cardi B. Nicki Minaj.
Oh. Well, it's only a matter of time.
It was pretty funny because I read some. I have a matter of time. I have no idea what her personality is or politics, but
I think I've listened to maybe one album by her, and I was okay with not listening to it anymore.
I'm mostly familiar with the Kanye song "Monster."
Yeah, because it's awesome.
And she's good on it.
Yeah.
And I think that colored me as like, oh yeah, she's a fine rapper, and I never listened to anything else. But I guess she's like a, I don't know, she's a, I can't think of any words right now. Anyway, she is a.
Just
Save me
make
from
something
this.
up.
I don't know.
She's a woman.
She's a woman.
African American. She is a fan of Trump. She's a rapper.
There was more to this story about how she was like like spreading
She's
Christianity and Americanism in
Oh
another
god.
country.
Oh god.
I don't know. I just thought it was very funny when rappers like Kanye and I guess Nicki Minaj have their Christian phase.
You know who
So
my favorite Christian phase artist right now is?
I think I'm gonna. Can I guess?
Yeah, you can guess.
Is it MIA?
Yes.
Yeah.
Although the new album sucked balls.
I heard that, and I like her other things.
Oh,
But
she's
I
great.
I
Yeah, I
did
love her
like
stuff.
I liked her testimony a lot.
Hmm.
I think
Yeah, it's
maybe
like
this is
an
what you're
actual
getting at.
like a vision of Jesus. Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
She went a little Kanye in
Hmm.
some ways. She started doing like her own clothing line, and it's like real out there. Um, but yeah, up until this new album, I've pretty much loved everything she's done, and this has only been in the last couple of years because I was. She fell into that category of artists that I avoided because I was a good Republican boy,
No, now you
and
cannot
then I
avoid.
never revisited when I turned. Um, and then a couple of years back, I was like, oh, I remember like thinking this would be like interesting to go back to. So I listened to all of her albums like in a day, and I was a fan. I was like, yeah, this is good shit.
Hmm.
And so I was super psyched for her quote unquote Christian album, and it was not good. At least
Yeah.
Kanye's Christian album was decent. Like, it's not great, but at least I was like, I can listen to this and enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah, I think Kanye, unfortunately, it always felt a little bit like a bit,
Yeah.
which that's I think what is is hard when some of these like big hardcore rappers,
Yeah.
with pretty blue lyrics,
Yeah.
they take this hard turn into Christianity, and not that I mind. I think good for them. I think people should explore the spiritual side of things. I do think it's funny, and that's just coming from my evangelical,
Mhm.
puritanical Christianity background. It always makes me laugh, but I, I think the reason why the MIA story stuck with me was I was like, oh, if this is a bit, this is insane. And so it
Yeah.
felt less like a bit. And Kanye is insane, so maybe the bit makes sense. Or,
Well, and
you know,
MIA doesn't have the star power that she once had. And so that
y-
gives some credibility to the shift.
I think,
Um,
I think, I think you're right, because I think with Kanye, he was so big that he was like, no, I'm going to make this a thing.
yeah.
And he did. I think he,
For a couple of
you.
albums, he I mean, so he did his quote unquote Christian album, which
Hmm.
every Christian and their dog loved, especially
Hmm.
because it mentioned Chick-fil-A.
Hmm.
Um, and I got so angry. I was like, "You fuckers! He's always been this good. This is not compared to his other shit. This isn't that great. It's
Yeah.
good. It's not great." And then he had to follow it up with Donda, and I was like, "Oh God, what a slog!" And then on top of
Mm.
that, he had to like bleep out all of the cuss words from the feature artists, and I was
Hmm.
like, "Just let them cuss. Like, I don't need a clean version. Like, just
Yeah. And I think he's kind of like softened on all that
oh yeah, no,
now.
he's full
Yeah.
cussing back. He's back to
Yeah.
cussing again. So
Yeah. So, and it again, maybe it wasn't a bit, but it was, right?
mhm.
Like, it is kind of a bit, even if in his mind, you know, it's probably like all of these things because he's got this, you know, insane mind. Um, but yeah, and the Christian phase was right after Pablo, right? The Life
Yeah.
of Pablo. That was
Which
So
is
yeah,
one of my favorite albums of his.
coming off of that high, and
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, I mean, Christian phases for artists has always been a thing. I mean, Bob Dylan being like
Bob Dylan,
the top one, you know, he's got like 3 albums that during his quote unquote Christian phase.
Yeah, he was like friends with Keith Green or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That's a big deal at the time. Yeah, I don't know. I still love Kanye, even though Kanye doesn't love Kanye.
Mhm.
But I get it. He's gone a little nutso. And guess what? That's not totally his fault because he's surrounded by a bunch of hacks that don't know how to take care of him. So,
Mhm.
and his mom died, which was his like tether to the real world. So,
Mhm.
which doesn't help. But yeah, MIA. I dig her story. I just wish she hadn't like dumbed her shit down.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think this was what I found kind of exciting about Kanye's phase was it wasn't dumbed down. It was definitely pilfering from
Yes.
Christian music, but it was still weird in the Kanye sense.
Well, and
Even
it
though he
had that
was like,
terrific choir too.
mm-hmm,
The choir was awesome.
yeah. Did you ever listen to the Nick Cave double album at the beginning of the 2000s? Liar, Orpheus,
Oh yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
Abattoir Blues.
I've listened to
That
all the
was
stuff.
that was like the first uh album that I listened to where it was like, oh, this is like modern music with big choir in the background,
Mm-hmm.
and that was very life changing in
I
my
generally dread double albums
yeah.
because most of them have way too much filler. But I do have a handful of double albums that I think are just shockingly good all the way through.
Hmm.
And that one is actually one of them.
That one legitimately just feels like, oh, this is album A and this is album B, like
Mm-hmm.
not trying to be together or
Yeah.
anything like that. So you can listen to them separately. When I went to see Nick Cave last year on the Wild God tour, he actually had not a full choir, but backup singers
Yeah.
kind of did that. Did that. So
Can I do a beef real quick?
yeah.
I finally so I had one of these weird days where my son and my wife were going out to the pool. I hate water.
Hmm.
So anytime I can back out of going to a pool or anything like that, I take the opportunity to. And so I did a lot of housework and whatnot, but I was watching movies while I was doing housework, and I was finishing up Widow's Bay.
Hmm.
And and right before my kiddo and my wife got home, I was catching up on a superhero movie that I had wanted to see and never did, and it was finally on Disney Plus. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this a shot. So I made it about halfway through the movie before I had to like shut it off before, my family came home. And it was Spider-Man No Way Home, I think.
Mm.
It's the one with the multiverse.
Oh yes.
And I made it halfway through, and I don't think I'm gonna finish it because I was bored out of my fucking mind.
Mm.
And I was super excited because Doc Ock from the first trilogy of Spider-Man movies was in it,
Oh,
and
Albert
Sandman,
Molina.
yeah, and Sandman, Thomas Hayden Church,
Mm-hmm.
and even Willem Dafoe, the Green Goblin, was back in it, and I was like, holy shit, like this could be really fun. It wasn't.
Mm.
I was bored. I was like, nothing about this is like this plot is so fucking thin.
You know
I
why?
didn't even get to
It
the
wasn't.
point wherever Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield show up.
Yeah. Did you get to the
They don't even
point?
show up like halfway through.
Did you get to the point where I finally come in and actually tell you what I had for dinner?
What did you have for dinner?
Because I feel like that's the multiverse.
That is true.
We
This
create.
is actually going to redeem Spider-Man No Way Home for me. So please tell me, what did you actually have for dinner?
Uh, First, I have to wrap up why we were even talking about Nicki Minaj.
It's
So
like a sandwich.
it is. Okay. So Nicki
It's like a
Minaj
Tim Robinson sketch.
is someone that I think is in the song WAP, but is not. But the song WAP connects to War and Peace. You had mentioned burgers. We were talking about McDonald's and horse meat. When we were trying to get together for like a final meal / book club talk for War and Peace, in that book they talk about eating horse flesh all the time. And I actually looked up how could you get horse meat to try to make something with it. It's actually really hard and illegal where we're at. So
In California or in America?
in California, but in most places in America. Like
Yeah, that's
I'm
fair.
sure if you made your own, I don't think it would be illegal, but it's illegal to like buy and sell. You can get some horse meat for your dogs through like South Korea. That's what I found, but I was like, this seems sketch.
Nothing like feeding your book club dog food.
I'm not going to feed my book club something that's going to give them mad horse disease.
Which brings you to what you actually cooked for.
Which brings us back to what we actually cooked for dinner. It was breakfast for dinner. I didn't make bacon. I don't really, I try to fry up some tofu sometimes, but that doesn't really work. I don't really want to ever try. There's like a recipe for making banana peels into bacon. Not really interested in that. But I just did pancakes, eggs, and hash browns, the classics.
I
But
feel like you could like fry plantains hard enough to where they would be like bacon.
oh sure, but just make fried plantains. Like
Yeah.
that's yeah. You could spice them with things. I mean, salt and pepper
Yeah.
on plantains and in butter would
Mhm.
just be perfectly fine. Like I'd be into
Yeah.
that. But it's interesting that you mention meat because one thing I've been experimenting with is like, okay, how do you get more protein? I get enough protein. I'm not really worried about that. But up to about a couple weeks ago, I was lifting more weights and I was trying to like maybe grow some muscle. We'll see if that actually works. But like one of the things is like, okay, up your protein. As a vegetarian, that's really hard to
Mhm.
do.
Yeah.
But I found that you can add cottage cheese to eggs and it's really good. And so it just like kind of doubles, not
I
doubles, but like
love cottage cheese.
me too. And I'm very glad that it's high in protein because that is a key way that I'm getting protein. I also put cottage cheese in the pancakes.
Ooh, that'd be good.
It is. I found a recipe on New York Times. This isn't a weirdo chat GPT recipe. It was on the, maybe it is. I don't know. But it was like
Depends on who wrote the article.
oatmeal, cottage cheese, and you like blend it all up. And they were really good pancakes. So
Do you know what
we
my
didn't
favorite way of having a cottage cheese is?
tell me.
It's something my grandmother used to do whenever I was a kid. It was cottage cheese mixed with applesauce. And it was really fucking good.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds really
and
good.
everyone I tell that to, with a little bit of cinnamon sugar on top, everyone I tell that to just like starts vomiting in their mouth. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's really good.
I mean, I think cottage cheese itself is pretty polarizing, where there are people who like it,
It's the
and then
texture, I think, for a lot of people.
yeah, it's it's curdled milk,
Yeah.
so that's kind of gross if you think about it like that. But I think what you touched on was that cottage cheese can be used in both savory and also sweet things, and I think that versatility makes it really cool. So
Yeah. I agree. I feel like we need to talk about Widow's Bay because
yes.
you, sir, were largely. I feel like you were largely mixed leading up to the final episode on whether or not it was worth your time or not. Well, maybe not worth your time. You just didn't. There were some things you were like, eh. Um, I felt pretty similar on most, or probably about a quarter of the episodes. I was like, eh, it's fun. Um, but then you texted me at whenever you finished the last episode, and you're like, no, Widow's Bay was good. Last episode, it's not funny, but it's good.
Yeah.
And then you hyped it up for me.
Oh no.
You hyped it up for me, and you got me real excited. And I was like, I'm gonna try to finish this before this episode. And I'm happy to report that I too thought the final episode was very good.
Oh, okay. You had me going there, Blake.
But I will disagree. I thought there were a couple parts that were hilarious.
Okay, I didn't mean. I think what we're talking about funny. Yeah, there's points in it
It's really
are really
him.
funny.
It's really talking. It's him talking to Ruth, and she's going through her photo book and talking about all the men that made a pass on her.
Yeah.
And she gets to the father and the nun.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, I laughed my ass off.
I agree. I think that part was very funny. I do think when what's his name? The kind of weird looking guy.
Dwayne? Is it Dwayne?
I don't know. I'm not remembering. But
Yeah.
but when he comes out of the room after watching all of these like awkward videos about something.
This place is a death trap.
Yeah, and just his face,
Yeah.
it's already like unique. I think I called him weird
Yeah.
looking. I apologize. You've got a very unique face.
Distinguished is I think what the term we use.
But I think it's used for humor, and he just gives this like crazy look, and so and then he screams this thing at the top of his lungs, and that's pretty funny.
I will say the reveal is fucking amazing.
Yeah, and I've read some people that are like, that was so obvious, and that was, but I think
no, I had no, even up to the until he mentioned, or till Ruth mentions that it's a certain person that we are vaguely familiar with. I was like, oh shit.
So me and Kira saw it coming, but only because the week before, Kira actually thought that it was going to be that person that was called out.
Gotcha.
In the lineage, whatever.
I mean, it probably should have come to mind, just because of that being such a significant storyline.
Yeah,
it makes sense. Like, it's the perfect way to like turn the tables on the mayor.
Yeah.
But I was so like into the story that I was like, yeah, I completely.
So
they had me.
I have two things to say. One is I do still get annoyed I kind of was annoyed because I think everyone was really into this show, and I think they maybe gave each episode a little too much credit because the whole thing they were enjoying. Like you were saying, there are some that are fire, and then there are some that are
Yeah,
fine.
basically
And
moving the story along.
moving the story.
It really could
It-
have probably been 6 episodes.
yeah, and I think that we've come to a place where we don't know what comedy is. And I say this as someone who loves I Think You Should Leave, who thinks that the movie Friendship is actually a comedy and it's very funny, but also kind of a horror movie.
You know who I
But
think ruined it for us, and
who?
and and he got canceled, but he
No.
had one of the great quote unquote dramedy shows, and I think
Hmm.
he's the one who made it like popular to where
Hmm.
like you can't have like just straight comedy anymore. You have to have like some kind of drama, and that's Louis C.K. His show
Yeah.
Louis, great show, love it, love it. Still to this day, we'll watch it unashamedly.
Yeah.
But the trend carried, and I think you're right. I think you can't just. There's no such thing as a quote unquote comedy without it being a formulaic sitcom.
Yeah, and I almost think that that show, which was actually really good, um, that show was trying to transcend comedy and
And I would
not
say
be
it
away from.
largely succeeded.
Yeah, and I think that's being more honest, which
Mhm.
is this isn't a comedy. We just have funny parts. It's a
Whereas
drama.
most people are trying to do a drama dressed up in comedy.
Well, and I think the Golden Globes fucks it up even more because
Oh yeah,
they nominate The Bear for best comedy musical. And
and I'm
when
over the bear in general.
I've heard it comes back, I'm over it too. I'm probably not going to watch it. Kira is probably going to finish it.
Yeah,
I've heard good things about how it's ending. But a lot of people told us you got to check out The Bear, and I was like, oh, it seems really intense, and they're like, it's a comedy, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I watched a couple episodes, and I was like, how is this a comedy? Like,
the only
I
time
do
it's a
not get it.
comedy is with cousin and the two goombas that like hang out with cousin. That's it.
It's I just
Everything else is drama.
I guess I just have this like it feels like people want to pigeonhole real life when they do this. And I'm like, no, you can have funny bits in real life right next to it, and it just call it a drama, like put it all on the same level.
Yeah.
I don't know why it bothers me so much. Um which is the most insane thing is that like I'm bothered by this. But anyway,
No, that's not
Widow's
insane at all. I don't. I totally agree. I don't think that's insane. I
Widows
think
yeah.
it's messing with genre in a way that's not helpful. Like I'm all for like transcending genre, but not cheaply.
It just makes me feel like you can't put a joke in a drama and have people take it seriously
When in fact
because
it
they're
jokes
like, "Oh,
actually
no, that
help.
has to be a comedy." Yeah.
But that's the thing is that comedy is part of drama. Like that's comedy.
Yeah.
It's like the sun and darkness.
Yeah.
If everything was dark, there wouldn't be dark. The sun has to be there has to be light in order for
Yeah.
darkness to be a thing. And
Yeah.
so drama is the same way. There has to be humor inherent in the situation because it's absurd. Life
Uh,
is absurd.
Yeah, and I don't have a coherent definition of what would then be a comedy if Widow's Bay isn't a comedy. It doesn't feel like it actually steps up to try to be something absurd or anything like that. It wants to take itself very seriously in the end. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you could just be a drama with some funny parts.
To their credit, anytime you put Dale Dickey in a show, I'm gonna laugh my ass off because she's hilarious.
Yeah. But I will say the show is better off for that because it leans into its drama as the end comes and it sticks the end. And I want to talk about that. Like I was kind of getting annoyed because I was like, oh, is this going to end? Are they going to pull the rug out and it just ends kind of dumb and cheaply? No, they went more serious and they put it into like the last episode is this trolley problem.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna let you finish.
Okay.
But I got thoughts about that.
I do too. I wasn't gonna leave it at that, but yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No,
finish.
Oh. Okay. So it's a trolley problem, but the one thing I'm thinking the whole time while watching it, and I think this is intentional, is no one actually knows if this works.
Yeah.
Which is the most, like, I guess, difficult to swallow part of any of it. Which is like, it's a trolley problem, but you can't see the tracks. And you don't even know if the switch is connected to them. And that's an insane trolley problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was like, oh, all of this is actually really good and fitting into place. And it's getting me to think about, the harms that I'm willing to perpetuate for
when I don't even know if it's going to work.
For potential good when I don't even know if it's going to work. And I'm thinking about all these things and I'm like, oh, yes, this is a good show. And that's kind of what's backing it up. And I haven't heard too many people talk about that, which is like, it goes you through it takes you by the hand and shows you why you would believe that there's something deeper, but it doesn't ever go into the logic of how this works. You just get how people process it in their minds on how they think these things work.
And if they're smart, they never do.
Yeah, if they're smart, they never do, but there's no way of knowing. And that's what was fascinating to me about this show was there is something evil that no one knows how it works, and you have people mixed in the middle trying to make the best decisions.
Well, and to some extent, you're seeing a bunch of people who are trying to put the puzzle together, but the audience is never sure that there isn't a puzzle to put together. Like,
or that the real puzzle exists.
Exactly. Like, the best thing, in my opinion, the best thing about the final episode is that whenever the storm dissipates, and we're trying to keep it spoiler free because God forbid we spoil something. But when the storm dissipates, everyone thinks it's for a different reason. And I love that. It's complete confusion. No one's on the same page. Everyone thinks one thing when in fact it's completely different. And we know, well, in theory, we know why the storm stops. But all of the characters don't know, except for one. And so I really found that to be a nice ending, and that not only do we not have necessarily all the pieces for this puzzle, but we're all putting the wrong pieces in the wrong spots for different reasons. It's very much a Tower of Babel kind of thing. Disperse and confuse.
Yeah, and I think that's like what's missing in a lot of shows is that I think narrative is interesting, but it tricks you into thinking that you have to have like a coherent idea that comes together at the end, because people tend to get bored, right? If
Mhm.
there's not. And it leads to things like, you know, uh, Stranger Things, where you get these completely untenable scenarios, but they all figure them
Or
out at the end.
or the trap box of all time, Lost.
Yeah, yeah, and but they figure it out at the end, and maybe the show will do that. But really, what it when we come across these things in real life, our solutions are usually just like, oh, let's just blow it all up so we
Yeah.
don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
We don't have to put together the puzzle because there's no way we could ever put together the puzzle. So we just take the
Yeah.
biggest weapons to destroy it and not have to think about it. And that's usually the actual solution when it comes to this stuff. And so, this show I felt did a really good job in trying to make you doubt all
Mhm.
of the puzzle pieces that you
Yep.
had, which is something you don't see that often. And
And what's so funny is that the episode before the final episode, you find out who is the remaining quote unquote descendant.
mhm,
And I felt like that was super anticlimactic.
mhm,
But then you get to the final episode and how they
yes,
pull it off is so well done.
mhm,
Um, it's the interaction between the mayor and her, and it's just really well, like it's well written. There's a lot of good discussion, a lot of good dialogue, and there's a lot of heart in it. Um,
mhm,
and I gotta ask, you're the mathematician here. Like
mhm.
you're familiar with the ins and outs of the trolley problem.
Oh, I'm the philosopher now too.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
no. I mean, there's a math element to it. Like, there's stats here going on here. Um, like on some level, are you please? Like, do you think Ruth's, um, quote unquote solution to the trolley problem?
no, I don't buy that. You save the 10 people. You kill the one person.
Okay, so you're like
Yeah,
hardcore on the mayor's side.
yeah. You take you
I'm
take the blame.
curious. They, I largely agree. I largely agree, but I know that generally speaking, there's either side you're making a choice,
Mhm.
whether you pull the lever or not.
Yeah.
But I think there's an interesting distinction that she pulls together, and I'm curious about this,
Mhm.
in that she basically makes the distinction between a active choice and a passive choice.
Mhm.
An active choice is to pull the lever and to kill the one person and save the crowd.
Mhm.
The passive choice is to not pull the lever and to decimate the crowd. I don't think I've ever actually heard that in that phraseology, and
Mhm.
I've been reeling over it the rest of the day
Well, okay.
because I think there's an element where she's right. Like there's she's not pulling the lever because it's an active choice on her part. She is choosing actively to kill that person, and I think there's something to that. I don't know what it is, but I think there's something to that.
Yeah, I mean, the issue with the trolley problem is that that's not real, and you can't actually you can be like, well, it represents, and no, it doesn't. Like you've modeled it to hell at that point, to whatever thing. But yeah, I do think that in a lot of cases we probably could decide, certain fates of things to make other things better. And actually, to a real extent, a lot of things we choose are probably the opposite of what I said, which
Hmm.
is you choose to save the one person over the group. And I think that this is actually what parents do a lot, where
Oh,
they're
yeah.
like, I am
Yeah.
focused on this one person, this child of mine, and I am going to shield this child and prop this child up, and I'm not going to look at the hundreds of homeless people around my city and worry about their meals. I'm going to worry about my child's meal. And yes, it's a false dichotomy. They're not like fighting for things,
Mhm.
but if you wanted to, you could come up with, well, put put all the homeless people in this bucket and put my child in one bucket, and
Yeah.
you could create these scenarios that don't make
Oh,
any
yeah.
sense, and you would choose your
And
child.
that's the problem. That's the problem is
Yes.
that anytime you categorize the collective and the person, you're gonna end up with a different decision.
Yeah.
If the crowd is a bunch of neo-Nazis and the one person is a kid, I can guarantee you most people are gonna plow right into the
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But like the ideal, I'm like, yeah, if all things are equal, and which is not the case,
yeah.
it's not true.
Mm-mm.
If all
Never
things
is.
are equal, yeah, I'm like, just take the blame and do something. If you don't do anything and you had the power to, then I think what you're doing is you're more like the person who turns away when you see evil.
Mhm.
I think that's what kind of bothered me about her response, was that yeah, you don't, you're passive, but you're turning away from evil. And to your point, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what we're doing a lot.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I think we do that a lot
Yeah.
to stay sane.
Yeah. Yeah. It was curious. I thought it was a fascinating, because the trolley problem comes up a lot in TV shows and movies
Yeah.
and whatnot. It's almost a trope at this point.
Hmm.
Which when I first heard him say it, I was like, oh, okay. But then I
Hmm.
was like, okay, like they're actually like putting in a way that's like interesting, and like it's building the tension of the moment.
And then
You know,
it's like
yeah,
false too, which was
exactly,
what was
exactly.
awesome about it.
Yep,
Yeah.
because we didn't know all the information. Guess
No,
what? Um,
because there's actually no tracks. There's not a
exactly.
switch,
Yeah.
and there's a trolley that you can feel, but you don't know where it's coming or where it's
But
going.
there's also a moment where the mayor shows, and this is part of what I like about the end of the second to last, the penultimate episode, and then the beginning of the last episode, is that you start seeing the mayor take ownership.
Hmm.
And yet he's like, you're not doing anything to Wick. Which, by the way, getting to see Stephen Root play straight is
Hmm.
pretty phenomenal, because he's awesome,
Hmm.
and he doesn't get to play a straight character very often. He's usually the comedic kind of like uh, fall guy for most part. Um, but I really appreciated the fact that, like, yes, with this whole situation is dubious, to say the least, but at least the mayor is like taking ownership of it,
Hmm.
and he's like, I'm not going to make you do something that clearly needs to be something I do, like as the
Yeah.
leader of this town, like.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, like I don't necessarily agree with what you're about to do, but at the same time, like I applaud the fact that you're taking ownership over it.
Yeah.
He is pulling the lever.
Yeah. I think this is one of the hardest things about modern life, is that you are responsible for doing things that will have consequences that you didn't intend.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I think this is one of the lies of the modern legal system, is
Yeah.
that you can be treated fairly in this. And
Yeah.
when I say modern legal system, I'm talking about the US one, the idea that everybody should get a fair trial and that all these things are true. I think it's important that we fight for the ideal, but that we believe that that's actually what happens, and that people don't deserve to have to take responsibility for things that they weren't responsible for.
Mhm.
I think that's a grace that we can give to people,
Yeah.
but it's not a right or anything like
Mhm.
that. And I think that's hard to deal with, and I think that's really, especially when you are born into a position of privilege, like everybody in the United States.
Yep.
Not everybody,
Yeah,
but the
but a
majority.
good portion.
A good portion, whether you feel that way or not. The fact that 178 schoolgirls just get wiped off the face of the earth
Yep.
because they happen to live in Iran with my tax dollars.
Yep.
Yeah, the president is responsible. I fucking hate
Mhm.
him for doing that. The Pete Hegseth is responsible, but I'm also responsible, right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
that doesn't make my hatred for these actions any less like red hot, but it's still
You
it.
drill down far enough, and no one has clean hands.
Yeah. Anyway,
um. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that took a really serious turn, and I'm not sure how I feel about that.
well, Blake, I would never describe this podcast as a comedy.
No.
Uh,
No. It's very much drama the whole way through.
we are a
Um.
drama that sometimes tries to be funny.
I will note that what you're about to experience in the coming days of being a 2-child parent is that you're going to start questioning the whole concept of fairness.
Yeah. I'm so ready for this.
Nothing will destroy the American concept of fairness, like having 2 or more kids.
You know, um, this is an aside, and then we can talk about Hangar 18. But my son is obsessed with being fair, but
Oh man, it's gonna be brutal.
only in the sense of when he can own the thing, and
Yeah.
um we went to Starbucks yesterday because I took him up to my hometown, and there's only one coffee shop there, Starbucks. So but we took things to go. It's a nice Starbucks, and it's a nice location. But I was like, okay, buddy, we're gonna get a treat, and we're gonna take it to the park, and we're gonna split it there. And I got it, and I got my coffee too. I didn't get him a
Mhm.
drink, but I got some bread. And he was like, "Oh, can I hold the bread?" And I was like, "Sure." So I was like, he took it there, and he's like, "Okay, this one's mine." And I was like, "No, we're gonna split it." And he's like, "No, but this one's mine, and that drink is yours." And
Oh,
I was like, "Oh, I see." I was
you're
like,
gonna be a little
"No,
lawyer. I like it.
yeah." I was like, "Nope, they're both mine, and I am splitting that one with you, my
You know
son."
what the best trump card is? Who
What?
paid for it?
Yeah, that's what I was. But right now, he doesn't understand
Yeah,
like
no.
pay yet.
The whole concept of money is completely foreign to.
Currency, and and I don't really believe that either.
No,
Like I
no.
I think I think of my resources as his, unless I need to teach him a lesson on what actual fairness is, and then I'm like, actually, it's all mine, and we get to do what I say.
I look forward to having this conversation in about a year
I
or
know
two.
it'll be fun. I'm excited about that. I'm
Yeah.
excited for that. I'm sure it'll be tough, but it'll be fun.
Speaking of fairness, how fair is it that one of the astronauts gets his head taken off? Which was the biggest surprise of the whole movie, honestly.
His capo was detated
Yeah,
from his head.
dude.
Um,
And it wasn't gory. Is kind of humorous, but also you're just like, I cannot believe they went there. Like they're actually showing the head and the body separated with some fake like blood looking stump of a neck and like the head, and you're just like, this was a choice. Like
I
the
think
director made a choice.
okay. Just thinking about what does that say? Well, it immediately tells me that this person is dead, right? Not, oh, there's a floating guy. How do we get him? He's detached from the
Mm-hmm.
spaceship. Which, getting back to that for a second, the the movie starts off with a spacewalk where the guy just goes out with no ropes and just
Because
goes
that's the
onto his
thing.
ship and fixes something. Um, so these astronauts were not worried about safety protocols when that is concerned. So I think
Well,
they
this was the
needed.
'80s, though.
This
So
was the 80s, yeah. I think they needed to decapitate him so that the astronauts inside could tell that he was dead and not go after him.
that's fair. That is fair. Yeah, they need, because the slow drifting
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that would be confusing.
Yeah. But it was a vibe and it was definitely a choice. So
um. So yeah, I don't know what to do with this movie. I enjoyed myself in a campy kind of like almost a made for TV kind of like, this is what could have happened with Roswell,
mm-hmm.
or if you're a Brit, Rendlesham, because why not? Um,
That's
the
above my
government's
pay
out to
grade.
like
I don't.
hide, cover up shit, and that's not surprising. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's plenty of reasons. Like the government, by its very being, covers shit up. It's called classified.
Mm-hmm.
The idea that the government covers shit up is a legal process according to our constitution. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, it's a little crazy, but at the same time, like you you noted that the dad bod on the astronauts was just like exceptional. And that's what I loved about this movie, is that these people felt very like, I'm not going to say realistic, but real.
Yeah, I mean, okay. One of the astronauts didn't have a dad bod. He
No,
had
but
a
the other one very much did.
he had a
And
normal.
spoiler, he dies.
Yeah. Well, neither of them had astronaut bod, which I
No,
assume
no,
is
no.
a thing because
Yep,
astronauts have to be very fit. Both of them were in their 40s, if
yep,
not 50s, which is, I think, beyond the prime of an astronaut at
yeah.
that point.
I would think
Um,
so.
but yeah, there was one that definitely looked like a high school football coach. Just the whole
From
package
Arkansas.
from Arkansas or Oklahoma or
Looked like he basically could have had a like a grain of wheat in his teeth. Like,
yeah, yeah. And he was an astronaut, which was great.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that was the funniest aspect. But as I said before, nothing about the movie felt bad,
no,
right? There's goofy elements, I think I disagree with the coherence of it. I don't think it coheres together so much. I mean, the story you can follow the story, but
That's all I'm saying. I'm not
I
saying that the particular element, I'm not saying the particular elements of the story cohere. I'm saying the
Mhm.
general thrust of the narrative.
Yeah.
You can watch this movie and come away and describe what happens.
Yes. Yeah. And you can. I think you had too many movies going on. Which was what was kind of funny to me, and maybe is what puts this in the camp of bad movie, is you've got okay, so what was really funny at the beginning was it opens up with a direct ripoff of Star Wars.
And along with the music, which is
Yes.
bombastic in a Williams kind of way.
Yeah. Which the rest of the movie doesn't feel
Nope.
very Star Wars y,
Nope.
but the opening, the like, they
It's not a
almost
crawl, but it's over a
go through the
star.
crawl.
It's over
Yeah.
stars, and there's
Mhm.
words with this
Yeah.
bombastic music.
Yeah, and then I think there's even names that come up,
Yep.
kind of like
Mm-hmm.
you know, da da da
Yep.
da, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, what am I in for? And then it's very much NASA procedural after that, and
it's like
um,
it's like CSI NASA.
yeah, which half of the movie, or maybe a third of the movie, felt like they were trying to make the astronauts James Bond characters. Um, and there was this like action chase stuff, which was actually kind of fun,
Yeah.
but it didn't. The other half was, I shit you not, the plot of Arrival. Um, Before Arrival, like 40 years before, 30 years before Arrival, and it was, it's not quite as fleshed out, or as serious as a Villeneuve movie, but you don't have the whole
I'm gonna from this point forward. I'm going to say Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. What I mean, I
Denis
don't
Villeneuve.
Villeneuve. Um, it doesn't have Hollywood's mom in it, so it's not as fun. Have I ever
Oh,
told you that Amy Adams? I think she has like a fascination with motherhood, because she has like 4 or 5 movies where she explores different people becoming mothers or being mothers,
yeah.
and
No.
there's always like a motherhood aspect to her roles, um, which I find fascinating. I actually think she's a really good actress, but
She's in the new Cape Fear TV show as a
mm,
mother.
yeah.
Um,
Which, yeah, I mean,
to Ed and Warren, Ed Warren
mm,
from the Conjuring movies.
oh, Patrick Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you got Javier Bardem as the as Cody. If you're familiar with the Cape
Oh,
Fear movies,
yeah.
so I'm actually kind of interested to watch it. That's probably gonna be the next thing I'll watch. But
Let me know how it is.
yeah,
I was a little like, does this need to be a show? When I saw
yeah,
it, but
it was a questionable choice to make it a show, honestly.
yeah.
Because the movies are great, both of them are pretty great.
Hmm.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
Javier
Yeah.
Bardem is the draw here. Like I
And
wouldn't watch it otherwise.
that's a really good choice. I
Yeah,
think he has. Oh,
he is
yeah,
menace.
definitely. I was like, why do I think that Javier Bardem is so like evil looking? And I was like, oh, because the first movie I ever saw him in, he was Anton Chigurh, who is one of the most evil. I think he's
Notorious
just
villains have been in cinematic history.
yeah, it's just been so long that I'm like, oh, he's this other A-list actor that, is interchangeable with George Clooney or whatever, and
Yeah.
in my mind,
Yeah.
and I forgot. But yeah, that just had a brain fart.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there's the plot of Arrival, half of the movie is that, and then there's like political whatever, and I guess that kind of goes with the James Bond feel with the astronauts, but
Mhm.
it doesn't really cohere with that. And yeah, anyway.
Well, and I'm about to get shit on by a lot of our listeners, probably, but I did not like Arrival. I found Jeremy Renner's character to be a complete MacGuffin, and it destroyed the whole movie premise for me. And so, like, yes, I think you're right. I think it is basically Arrival 40 years before Arrival happened, in a cheesier way.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's the part that got me is that you have the command center director who is in the command center at the beginning of the movie, and he is removed from his command to go to this hangar where this
Mm-hmm.
alien ship has been captured, and this dude has some interests. Let's just say the dude is more than he looks. He has thoughts, and I mean the THOT type. And the part where he basically comes up and says, "Oh yeah, these aliens, man, I'm pretty sure they're from they've been here a long time, man, and I think they have actually birthed us. That we're actually descendants of them." And I'm like, "Whoa. Whoa."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hollow earth theory guy. Um yeah, I was the directions they took that storyline was just
Mm-hmm.
wild and completely unhinged, and nothing about the movie directed that direction. Like it
Mm-hmm.
nothing about it said we should go in this lane. um and I was there for it. I was like, yeah, just at this point, like just start throwing the theories out there, man.
Yeah,
I'm down.
feed these ideas straight into my veins,
Yeah.
please. Well, and that was the whole thing, is like it just, yeah, it felt like a lot of ideas in one place and
Yeah.
not really a commitment to any of them
Nope.
necessarily.
Which fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
In like it's a widow's bay situation.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's just throwing ideas against the wall, seeing what sticks. So,
Yeah.
how did you feel about the reveal of the aliens?
I made a gif of it.
I
You
know
I sent you a gif of it. I thought it was pretty
it
funny.
was one of the greatest gifts I could have gotten on that day.
I think uh, the aliens were so interesting to me because the movie it does a really cool trick where it makes them dead immediately,
Yeah.
and so you don't have to deal with them, and they look completely goofy, and it's yeah. I mean,
Was it triggering to you
it
as
wasn't.
as the grandson of Telly Savalas?
Oh, because it's Tully Smalls. No.
No, because they're bald.
Oh yeah. Um, you know what's funny? I joke about this, but I actually have hair. So I don't know if I should be claiming Telly Savalas as my grandfather. And
Well, but that doesn't matter because he had hair everywhere else
he did,
except his hair.
except his hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, no, yeah, the aliens were fine.
They were fine. No, they
I,
weren't.
I mean,
They were two bald guys in chairs. That's all they
on
were.
okay, on a scale of Alien, the movie Alien, all the way to what is it? That found footage film that we watched, like the Johnson's Cabin or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
That being the worst. It's it's
The
in the latter.
McPherson tape.
Yeah, the McPherson tape. That's in the latter half, but it's definitely not near the bottom. So
Well, yeah, and I think this is the one area where I will give credit to Arrival, because that is way more interesting visually. What they did with the aliens there.
I will say it did actually make the Hollow Earth theory a little more believable.
That's true. That is true.
Which to their credit, they tied that together potentially with their limitations on visual effects.
But you also kind of have to place this movie within the scope of UFO history, in the sense that UFO sightings and contact experiences have shifted over time. So I would imagine at this point, this movie was made during a time when the quote unquote extraterrestrial looked like a Nordic man, basically. Basically like a Venuvian, like almost a character straight out of like I'm trying to think some of those early authors. He did Conan the Barbarian. I can't think of his name. All I'm thinking is Thomas Hardy, but that is not it. He's completely on the opposite end of that spectrum. But
was it a Conrad?
No, that was Heart of Darkness. That also great.
Yeah.
But anyways, that like it's crap. I'm gonna have to look it up because I can't.
I'm looking it up now. I'll tell you.
Doyle. Arthur Conan Doyle. That's it. Kind of that space human visual. It makes sense. Like this time period, like I could see a world in which that is still the reigning kind of visual. I don't think grays had come into the picture at this point. I don't think you really get into grays until you get to like Whitley Strieber's Communion book. And that's where kind of grays become the predominant visual for E.T. Yeah. So I mean, it checks out. Like it makes sense. And the Hollow Earth theory, there are, ancestors. I mean, it checks out. They look like us. So. So I mean, I like logically, I think it was internally logical within the film. It just kind of came out of nowhere. You're just like, whoa, okay, slow down.
I did like how the movie ended too. Was you had the politicians,
the government trying to cover it up, and guess what? What saves them?
The alien ship.
Yep.
Yeah.
The alien ship. They're all inside of it, and they get saved from the explosion. I mean, it's pretty good. Like, I mean,
tons of people die, but
this is where I'm like, okay, cohesion wise, like it's not bad. Like, I can think of a lot of movies, like modern movies, that are less cohesive than this.
Yeah, I'll say I told you I watched Good Luck, Have Fun,
Yeah,
Don't Die.
I almost watched that the other night, but then you said it was stupid, and I was like, eh.
It's very, very dumb, and I think it kind of has the same problem as this movie too, where it is way too many things, and it doesn't. It's like it's about AI or phones or tech, whatever, I don't know, and then time travel, and it's like if someone D&D'd the Terminator story. So they just made a D&D campaign based on the Terminator story, and they didn't use like a robot coming back. It was just like someone from Robot Future comes back or whatever.
Yeah.
And they completely reinvent it and then make it as scrappy as that. It's fun, but it has way too many ideas and it doesn't really kind of come together at the end. And I guess in that way, maybe Hangar 18 was a little bit better in how it came together, but I still felt like it kind of had too many ideas and
Yeah.
didn't really spend enough time on each one to really bring it together.
And they killed the most sympathetic character.
Yeah, Lou.
Lou. God rest him.
That was an awesome scene, though.
It really was.
He gets, again, you have to remember, dad bod astronaut, but he decides that he is going to climb the truck, the gas truck that they have hijacked, climb outside the window so that he can light the guys who are shooting at them and following them on fire by releasing some gas. And the truck is moving, releasing gas and throwing a lighter. It's incredible to see. I think movies need to do this more often, where they just have completely unreasonable body types doing James Bond shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
The
it would be the most inclusive of all inclusion.
It would just be fun. And the reason why it works still is because it makes zero sense that James Bond is doing this shit in the first place. Like, the fact
So
that
why not?
He's like fit or a professional doesn't really make much more sense that he would be like hanging from the helicopter, and dropping turds on people, just give it to other people, kids. Let kids do this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm down.
Yeah.
I want to see I want to see a renaissance of plus size people doing some crazy ass stunts, man.
Or other types like kids,
Or I mean, yeah, whatever.
You could have old people doing this stuff.
Dude, I would love to see Michael Caine come back and start doing stunts.
Yeah. You could
That'd
have
be amazing.
podcasters doing this stuff.
Ooh, would you want to do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if we can figure something out.
You know what, Blake? I think we need to get motorcycles. That's what this means.
Okay, so speaking of, this is probably going to be close to where this podcast episode ends, but my kids and I and my wife have been catching up with the Toy Story, so we can go see the new one. And we watched Toy Story 4 this morning before church, and Keanu Reeves is the voice of a Evel Knievel Duke Nukem kind of toy where he's like riding a motorcycle, and he's Canadian, and it is hilarious. Not only that, but you got Tony Hale playing Forky, which is amazing. It was surprisingly good. I laughed harder at 4 than I probably did in any of the other movies.
Okay. I have not seen
Key
4.
and Peele have roles in it that are their whole like shtick is hilarious too. Yeah, I mean it just like worked on every level.
Okay.
Yeah. I was so I'm actually kind of psyched for the 5th one. Like after the 4th one, I was like, okay, I'm down. Let's see give it to me.
Let me know what you think, because I've heard both yay and nay.
I'm not. It's not super promising based off the preview. It looks a little too on the nose for my taste, but I never watched 4 because I thought I was like Toy Story 4. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
I didn't watch Toy Story 4 either. Kind of for the same
I
reason.
wanted the toys to burn in the incinerator in 3. So that's how like gung ho I was for 4. And so yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna take my both of my boys to see it once this week is over. It's not gonna be this week, it'll be the following week. But yeah, we're all excited
All
for
right.
Toy Story 5. Why not?
Well, Blake, we've got 45 seconds left. Is there anything you wanted to say about Hangar 18?
Hangar 18. I feel sorry for the fools in Hangar 17. They're like right across the way and they're like, what the fuck is going on?
What is happening there?
It's like, do you ever think about like watching a movie that's based on people observing the actions of others in another movie? Like, think of like an Outpost 30 in The Thing. And they're just like looking, they're like, some shit's going down over there. But like, they're just like living their normal lives, not being affected by anything. But they're just looking at it, they're like, what is going on over there?
Yeah. I mean, I think
that is meta, my friend. Meta. Because they are us, the audience.
they're the audience.
And it's a movie about the audience watching the original movie.
That would be a good, like, you could do a neighborhood movie where it's the neighbors of a haunted house and they're just watching, like, the priest come in and then they're hearing, like, and all these, like, and then the ghost hunters come in and, it's just watching them try to have dinner while their lights flicker because they're also on the same grid as that house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gold. It's gold. We've gone 1 minute and 14 seconds over what we were planning on it. So I feel like we need to cold close this bitch.
I don't have anything more to say, so I'll just say bye.
Bye.